Good morning, Smith community. My name is Eleni Partakki, and it is my honor and privilege to stand before you as a proud member of the Smith College class of 2022. As the first person in my family to attend college, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank my parents, Christina and Dimitris, who are unable to be here today. I appreciate the countless hours you spent working on the farm and in customer service so that my sister and I could secure a better future. Thank you for teaching me to be kind, curious, and outspoken. In the crowd today is my sister, best friend, and fellow Smithy of the class of 2024, Victoria. I grew up in the last divided capital in the world, Nicosia, on the island of Cyprus. And when I graduated high school, my future seemed uncertain, and college did not seem like an option. In fact, I used to joke that I would never go to college because I could not afford it. Yet here I am today, about to graduate with a degree in computer science and government, a fruit of the unconditional love and support of Smith workers and alumni donations to financial aid. One of my first and most fond memories at Smith is when I began working in dining during my first year, and I met Miss Ilsa, one of the chefs at Emerson, who would talk to me about all the students that had worked in my dishwashing position over the 3 decades she had worked at Smith. You know what I'm talking about, for those of you. She would tell me about her life and ask me about my day. And at the end of my shift, she would offer me extra ice cream for my hard work. When I was ill and missed a few of my shifts, my roommate Liv told me that Mr. Raj in the kitchen was asking about me to make sure I was okay, and had given me some cough drops so I could return soon. That is just a glimpse of the love and labor of workers at Smith, and the beauty of the community that I get to call home. As I adjusted to life here and began discovering my passions, my laptop broke. I could not afford another one, and as a financially independent student, the burden felt very heavy. I walked into the Morrow living room, devastated that I would have to wait for months before I could save up money for a new one, and that I would have a hard time completing my work. But then a fellow student told me that I could apply for financial support. Within a week, I had a new laptop. Astonished by this, I asked, what could make this possible? And there was only one answer: Smithies. I decided that I wanted to meet who those Smithies were, and I was told that the best time to meet them was at a reunion, so I applied to be a student worker. I was assigned as a class assistant for the incredible class of 1969, who were celebrating their 50th reunion. That is where I met Christine and Diana, 2 Smith alumni who chatted with me about their lives at Smith: academics, love, and friendship. Friendship like the one we were creating. They asked me to make a promise to keep in touch, and I did. When the pandemic began to unfold, I had to return to Cyprus to help my family. I was struggling financially and academically, and the world started to feel as if it was closing in on me. Suddenly, having to leave the place I called home was difficult, and having to deal with the world was harsh. That is when I heard from my friends again, Christine and Diana, who would exchange emails with me and support me. In that same time period, I received an email from Alumni Relations that Jane Holt, also from the class of 1969, who I had met during that reunion, had asked about my contact information in order to keep in touch after we exchanged stories of our lives. And as I was crying on my bedroom floor, feeling like I had to hold the world on my shoulders. Smithies carried me with their love and care, and suddenly the world did not feel so heavy. They reminded me of my strength, my wisdom, my stubbornness to make things work. Smith provided me with the support and space to undergo a marvelous journey in life, and without it, I would not be the young woman I am today. Smith gave me the strength to stand solidly on my feet and achieve. A quote I cherish deeply from Denise Mater, class of 1974 and Vice President for Alumni Relations, is, "Reach out and we will reach back." Wherever you are in the world, there is an alum to welcome you, because Smith is not just the 4 years we spend on this campus. Smith is forever. In a month, I will be living in Cambridge, Massachusetts, working for a data software company, utilizing my Smith education and lifelong skills, and I am excited to have the opportunity to continue the cycle of giving back to our community. I am grateful for Smith and all the wonderful workers, my fellow first-generation classmates, my professors, my dear friends, and for finally having Nielsen Library in our final year. Class of 2022, may we continue to pave the way for one another, and may we lift and cheer each other for all the astounding work we have and will continue to accomplish for ourselves and our communities. Thank you, and congratulations.